Have you ever opened your monthly bills and just stared at them thinking, why am I still paying this much? I'm retired. I don't even use half this stuff anymore. You're not alone. A lot of folks I talk to, smart, careful people in their 60s and 70s, feel the same way. You've earned a life of comfort. This is about smart tweaks that can help you save real money without cutting into the things that matter. Because let us face it, there is no joy in spending $135 a month on cable when you only watch Hallmark movies and Wheel of Fortune. You work hard all your life. You finally get to this stage where you should be relaxing, enjoying the little things. And then the bills keep showing up like clockwork, still chewing away at your savings. Oh, I barely use it anymore. I'll even share a few of their stories. Because sometimes the best ideas don't come from experts in suits. For a lot of us, TV has been a comfort, a habit, even a friend. It's how we unwind, how we feel connected, how we catch the game or enjoy a good laugh. But here's the thing, when I ask folks how much they're actually watching, the answer usually doesn't match what they're paying. But trust me on this, most of these new services are as simple as clicking a remote. Many come with guides and customer support that walk you through the whole setup. And if you've got grandkids, then cancel the rest, even if just for a while. Most of them let you restart anytime. You'll be amazed how freeing it feels to trim the fat without losing the flavor. Let's talk about something a little more behind the scenes. But just as sneaky, those utility bills. Tell them you'll bake cookies if they help set it up. You'll have it done in under 10 minutes. Tom switched from cable to a $25 streaming plan and says he hasn't missed a single show, but he sure doesn't miss that extra $120 going out the door each month. They come from someone just like you, who figured out how to make their money stretch without giving up the joy in life. I remember sitting down with my neighbor Carol, who's 74. That's it, yet he was shelling out nearly $150 a month for a premium cable package. When I asked him why, he said, well, I've just always had it. That's the trap a lot of us fall into. We sign up years ago. Maybe bundle a few extras and just let it ride, even when we no longer need it. And maybe share your own tips or struggles in the comments, because helping each other is what makes this community so special. For starters, streaming services like Philo, Sling TV, or YouTube TV offer live television, including your favorite networks, for a fraction of the price. If you mainly stick to local news and a couple of channels, even a simple digital antenna might do the trick. When I asked how often they used each, the wife laughed and said, honestly, we mostly just watch The Golden Girls on Hulu. That's $40 to $50 a month for shows they weren't even watching. Those little gadgets pick up free over-the-air channels in high definition, and once you buy it, there's no monthly fee. She's sharp as ever, budget conscious, lives pretty simply. But when we looked at her monthly expenses, over $500 was going out every month on things she didn't really need or wasn't even using anymore. And she's not unique. I've seen it again and again. Folks who think they're living frugally, but those old subscriptions, outdated plans, and unexamined bills are quietly draining their hard-earned money. Now, let me be clear. This video isn't about clipping coupons or doing anything drastic. So today, I'm going to walk you through 5 specific bills you can shrink starting this month. No complicated spreadsheets, no phone calls that last hours, and certainly no sacrificing your warm winter house or your Sunday afternoon TV. Each one of these tips comes from real retirees, people who've been where you are and made a few small changes that added up to big savings. And if you find something helpful in today's video, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Vibrant Elders. All right, let's get into it. The very first bill we're going to tackle is one that sneaks into almost every home I visit, even when folks say, bill number 1, cable and streaming services. No, I know, it's a touchy subject. My friend Tom, who's 68 and retired from Postal Service, told me he watches exactly 3 things: the evening news, Jeopardy, and the Sunday game. Here's the good news. You've got better, cheaper options now than ever before. Now, I know change can feel a bit intimidating, especially when it involves technology. Another area to watch: streaming subscriptions. I met a couple in Florida who had Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and Prime, and were paying for all 4 every month. So here's a little challenge. Write down all the TV and streaming services you're currently paying for. Circle the ones you actually use each week. Remember, this isn't about sacrifice, it's about realigning your money with your life today, not what you signed up for 10 years ago. And that's one bill down. Ready for the next one? Bill number 2, utilities. Now, let's move on to something a little less visible, but just as persistent. Your utility bills, electricity, heating, water, they show up every single month, don't they? And for most retirees, they tend to quietly creep up over time, especially when no one's really watching the numbers that closely. I remember sitting with Carol, the same neighbor I mentioned earlier, and going over her winter heating bill. She lives alone, only uses 2 rooms in her house, but was still heating the entire place like she was hosting a Christmas reunion every weekend. And her electricity, let's just say it was lighting up more than the living room. But here's the truth. You don't have to freeze or live by candlelight to lower your utility costs. It's not about discomfort, it's about being smarter with what you already use. One of the easiest and most effective tricks is seasonal room control. If you're not using the guest bedroom, the back hallway, or that old hobby room you used to paint in, close the vents and shut the doors during the colder months. You'll immediately reduce the space your system has to heat. And that alone can shave $30, $50 off a monthly bill. Then there's lighting. Many of us still have older bulbs and lamps or ceiling fixtures that burn more power than needed. Switching to LED bulbs, especially in the rooms you use the most, can make a surprising difference. They last longer, use far less energy. And honestly, you'll likely never have to change them again in your lifetime. Now, let's talk thermostats. If you don't already have a smart thermostat, it's something to think about. They're not just for tetchy young folks. These little devices let you set temperatures by schedule, so your home warms up before you get out of bed, then cools down when you're bundled in for the night. Some local utility companies will even install one for free or at a major discount for seniors. Just give them a call and ask about their energy efficiency programs. In fact, many utilities also offer free home energy audits. They'll send someone out or guide you through it by phone to identify energy waste and help you qualify for insulation upgrades. Weather stripping or low-flow shower heads that cut your water bill too. Programs like LIHEAP or state-sponsored assistance plans can also help lower monthly heating bills if you qualify, and many people do without even realizing it. Carol took these steps after we talked. Just small changes, nothing fancy. Her next bill came in $48 lower. That's $576 a year back in her pocket, just for shutting a few doors and swapping some bulbs. See? It's not about turning off your life. It's about tuning in to where your money's quietly slipping away. And once you start noticing, you can start keeping more of it without losing a single ounce of comfort. Now, speaking of modern life, let's talk about that phone and internet bill. You might be surprised at how much you're overpaying. Bill number 3, cell phone and internet, all right? Let's talk about something most of us use every day, even if we don't realize how much we're paying for it. Cell phones and internet. Now, I'm not saying you don't need them. In fact, staying connected with family, news, doctors, even your favorite games is more important than ever. But I'll be honest, most of the retirees I speak with are spending way more than they need to for basic service. Take my friend Harold, he's 72, uses his phone mostly to text his grandkids, look up recipes, and call his daughter once or twice a day. That's it. No video streaming, no social media, but guess how much he was paying? $97 a month for a plan designed for teenagers using data all day. And when I asked him why, he shrugged and said, "That's what I've always had." Sound familiar? Here's the truth. You don't need to pay nearly that much. There are plans made specifically for folks like us, with simpler needs and much smaller price tags. Companies like Consumer Cellular, Tello, or Mint Mobile offer talk and text plans with enough data for basic internet use for around $20 to $30 a month. And many of them use the same networks as the big guys. You'll still get great coverage, just without the high cost and flashy extras you don't need. And don't worry, switching is easier than you think. Most of these companies will help you move your number over, even mail you the SIM card for free, and set everything up over the phone if you need it. If you're not sure where to begin, ask a tech-savvy neighbor or grandkid to help. A half hour of their time could save you $800 a year. Now, let's look at internet. If you're not streaming high-definition videos or downloading big files every day, you probably don't need the fastest plan your cable company offers most. Providers have basic internet packages for casual users, but they won't tell you about them unless you ask. So here's what you do. Call them up and say, "I'm retired and not using much data. Do you have a senior discount or a lighter internet plan?" Sometimes they'll offer a new rate on the spot. Other times, you might need to threaten to switch, and believe me, they don't want to lose you if you really want to trim the fat. Bundle your phone and internet with the same provider, or better yet, drop the landline if you're not using it anymore. Harold was still paying for a home phone he hadn't picked up in 2 years. A quick review of your monthly tech bills, just once a year, can put hundreds back in your wallet, and you don't lose a thing. You still get your calls, your crossword apps, your Zoom chats with grandkids. The only thing you'll notice is a little more breathing room in your budget, and maybe a bit less stress when the bills come in. All right, we've tackled screen time and signals. Now let's move into something that really impacts your health and your wallet. Bill number 4, prescription and medical costs. Now let's move into a topic that hits close to home for just about everyone in retirement: medical bills and prescription costs. You know, it's funny. We spend decades trying to save for the future, and then just when we finally have the time to enjoy it, healthcare starts taking a bigger and bigger bite out of our savings. I've heard so many stories from friends and clients alike who are shocked by what they pay, not for some fancy procedure, but just for staying well. One gentleman I met, John, was paying $89 a month for one medication. He'd been filling it at the same pharmacy for years, and then his daughter showed him GoodRx. They looked up the exact same prescription, same dosage, same pharmacy, and it was $11, no change in his insurance, no hoops to jump through. Just a better price. That's a $78 difference every month, over $900 a year saved, just by checking a website before heading to the pharmacy. So if you haven't used GoodRx, I really encourage you to try it. It's free. And you don't even have to sign up if you don't want to. Another great one is Mark Cuban's Cost Plus Drugs. It's a newer service, but already helping folks cut their prescription costs way down, especially on generics. Now, if you're on Medicare, you know, it can get confusing fast. And if you've ever tried to compare Medicare Advantage with a Medigap plan, you've probably had to take a nap right after, but here's the short version. Medicare Advantage often bundles extra perks like vision or dental, but comes with stricter networks. Medigap gives you more freedom to choose providers, but usually with a separate drug plan. The key is to review your plan every year during open enrollment, because the prescriptions you take might not be covered the same way next year. And when it comes to the doctor's office, don't be shy about asking for generic medications. Many doctors are happy to write prescriptions for alternatives if they know you're trying to save. It's not cutting corners, it's being smart with your money. Some pharmacies also offer discount cards or store loyalty programs. You'd be surprised what a little asking can do. My neighbor Susan saved $30 a month just by switching her prescription. Pick up from a chain pharmacy to the one inside her local grocery store, same meds, same insurance, but a different pricing agreement. And don't forget to use those preventive benefits Medicare covers: annual wellness visits, screenings, vaccines. They're often free, and catching things early can save thousands down the road, not to mention stress and health struggles. Bottom line, just like with cable or your phone bill, the secret is to shop around, even when it comes to your health. You deserve the best care, but you also deserve to keep more of your money while getting it. All right, we've taken care of the body. Now let's move on to the road. Car costs and transportation might be draining more than you think. Let's look at what can be done there. Bill number 5. Car insurance and transportation. Let's talk about the car. Or maybe more specifically, the bills that come with it. Now, for many of us, our car is more than just a way to get from A to B. It's independence, it's peace of mind, it's the ability to get to the store, the doctor, or to take a spontaneous drive just because we feel like it. But here's the thing. A lot of retirees are still paying the same insurance rates they were when they were commuting to work 5 days a week. Let me ask you, how often do you really drive these days? A few times a week? To church, the grocery store, maybe the grandkids' soccer game. If you're not putting serious miles on your car anymore, there's no reason you should be paying like you're still doing 15,000 miles a year. My friend Ellen, who's 69 and sharp as a tack, was paying nearly $1,800 a year on her car insurance when we looked into it. She'd been with the same company for 18 years, never asked for a discount, never shopped around. I helped her call 3 other providers, and guess what? One of them cut her premium nearly in half, just because she was driving under 5,000 miles a year. Same coverage, same car, but now she's saving over $700 annually. One of the best things you can do is ask your insurer about low mileage or usage-based policies. Companies like Metromile, Mile Auto, or even some of the bigger names now offer pay-per-mile plans, perfect for retirees who drive less. You plug a little device into your car and it tracks how much you drive. Less driving equals less cost. Another great trick is to reshop your insurance once a year, even if you're happy with your current provider. Just saying, "I'm thinking about switching," often leads to surprising discounts. It's also worth asking about senior or safe driver discounts. Many companies have them, but they won't always offer unless you ask. And if you're an AARP member, you've got access to a whole menu of special insurance rates and bundles, especially if you combine auto with home or renter's insurance. Those bundles alone can sometimes save you 10 to 20%. Now, if you're really not driving much anymore, it might be time to consider downsizing to one car or even going car-free. I know that sounds big, but hear me out. Between ride-sharing services, senior transport programs, and free delivery from most pharmacies and grocery stores, it's more doable now than ever, especially in cities or retirement communities. For those who only drive once a week, switching to Uber, Lyft, or even the local shuttle could be cheaper than car ownership. Altogether, the point is, don't let tradition or habit keep you overpaying. Your driving life might have slowed down, but that doesn't mean your money should be racing out the door. Alright, we've talked about 5 big areas where retirees are often overspending, but there's one bonus tip I want to share that can help you find even more savings. Let's take a look before we wrap things up. I want to share one last little tip, a bonus. Really, but it's one of the most powerful habits you can build when it comes to saving money, doing a monthly expense audit. Now, don't let the word audit scare you. This isn't the IRS knocking at your door. It's just a fancy way of saying, take a closer look at where your money's going. Think of it like spring cleaning. But for your wallet, one of the couples I worked with, Joe and Marlene, both in their early 70s, told me they felt like their budget was leaking money, but they couldn't figure out where, so I gave them one simple task. For 1 month, write down every single thing they spent: bills, groceries, online shopping. Even that $4 coffee Joe likes to sneak in when he goes to the pharmacy. At the end of the month, they were stunned. There was a $1,499 charge every month for a music subscription they hadn't used in over a year. Marlene had signed up for it during the holidays to play Christmas music and just forgot about it. Joe had a magazine subscription being renewed automatically. Together, these little things added up to nearly $300 a year. That's a weekend getaway. That's a holiday gift fund. That's real money. So here's what I recommend. Just once a month, take 30 minutes with a pen and a cup of tea, or use a free app like Monarch Money or Mint, and track what came out of your account. You don't have to categorize every penny. Just highlight anything that surprises you or feels unnecessary. You'd be amazed how many old subscriptions or forgotten charges are quietly sipping away at your savings. If apps feel too complicated, go old school. Print out your bank statement and grab a highlighter. Make it a routine. Maybe it's the first Saturday of every month. Maybe it's something you do after church on Sunday. Make it easy, make it yours. This little habit can help you not only catch leaks in your spending, but also feel more in control. And honestly, that peace of mind is priceless. Now, one tip I give people is this: don't aim to fix everything at once. Just pick one thing to adjust each month. Cancel a service, call a provider, switch a plan. That way it never feels overwhelming, but you're constantly making progress over time. This adds up. Small choices, month after month, turn into real savings, and best of all, You're not giving up your comfort. You're just keeping more of your money where it belongs. In your hands, all right? We've talked about a lot today, but don't go anywhere just yet. Let's take a moment to pull everything together and wrap this up with a few thoughts I think you'll want to carry with you. If there's one thing I hope you take from today, it's this. You don't have to sacrifice your comfort or joy to feel financially secure in retirement. You've worked too hard for too long to feel stressed every time the bills come in, and the truth is, a few small changes, just a couple of phone calls, a little monthly check-in, can make a noticeable difference in your wallet and your peace of mind. Let's think back to what we covered, that cable or streaming service you rarely use. You can swap it for something cheaper or drop it altogether and still catch your favorite shows, those utility bills that sneak up on you. You can turn down the thermostat in unused rooms, swap a few bulbs, and make your home more efficient. Without losing any comfort with your phone and internet, chances are you're overpaying for data and speeds you don't even use, and there are plans out there built just for folks like you. Prescription and medical costs? They don't have to drain your savings, GoodRx, generic options. And annual Medicare plan reviews can open the door to hundreds in savings, and of course car insurance if you drive less. You should pay less, but most of us never stop to ask now. You don't have to tackle everything at once, just one bill. Pick one from today's list and take action this week. That one step can set the tone for all the rest, and if you make it a habit, a quiet monthly ritual to review your bills, catch forgotten subscriptions, and double-check your needs, you'll be amazed at how in control and confident you start to feel because this stage of life. It's not about pinching pennies or living with less. It's about living smarter. Keeping more of your money means having more freedom to do the things you love, to travel, to spoil the grandkids, to give generously, or simply sleep better. At night, knowing you're covered, you deserve that. Every bit of it. And I'd love to hear from you if something in this video helped. Or if you've got your own tip that saved you a little extra each month, drop it in the comments below. This community is filled with smart, experienced people who can learn from each other. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to Vibrant Elders, and share this with someone who might also be paying more than they need to. Let's help each other out. Because a good life in retirement isn't about cutting, it's about choosing wisely, living fully, and keeping your money working for you. Not slipping away when you're not looking. Thanks for spending your time with me today. I hope you leave feeling just a little lighter, a little wiser, and ready to take back control, one bill at a time. Until next time, take good care of yourself. You've earned it.